Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Lovely to see some faces on this cold morning. You don't need any particular props this morning for your practice, but probably a nice warm blanket would be good, and your beautiful selves. We might start lying down, but if you would prefer to sit, that's absolutely fine. So you might also have a cushion for the back of your head. If you wear glasses, you might like to just pop those to one side. So just decide how you would like to commence your practice, whether just lying down, covered with a warm blanket, or in a seated position, perhaps with a shawl or a blanket around you. Nice, tall, straight spine. If you feel comfortable closing the eyes or just have a soft downward glance. Perhaps a few breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, sighing or blowing the breath away. Releasing the events of your morning, of last night and yesterday. And just starting to allow everything to slow down. Spending a few moments now just listening to all of the sounds around you. Not becoming attached to any one particular sound, but noticing how many different sounds there are. Beginning to withdraw your attention from the outside world, leave these sounds. And perhaps saying to yourselves a few times, I recognize the need for silence and stillness in my life. I recognize the need for silence and stillness in my life. Beginning to feel a gentle warmth permeating your whole being now. And just enjoying this momentary pause, this gap, this space between no longer and not yet. A moment to just be, neither clinging to nor pushing away anything. Just total rest, total surrender, and the opportunity to be with yourself in silence, in stillness. I'd like to share a favourite poem with you by Jan Richardson. Some of you will have probably heard this before. It's a bit of a favourite. It's one that I read often to myself. I have it stuck up on my wall over my desk. I cannot tell you how the light comes. What I know is that it is more ancient than imagining, that it travels across an astounding expanse to reach us, that it loves searching out what is hidden, what is lost, what is forgotten, or in peril, or in pain. That it has a fondness for the body, for finding its way toward flesh, for tracing the edges of form, for shining forth through the eye, the hand, the heart. I cannot tell you how the light comes, but that it does, that it will, that it works its way into the deepest dark that enfolds you, though it may seem long ages in coming or arrive in a shape you did not foresee. And so may we this day turn ourselves toward it. May we lift our faces to let it find us. May we bend our bodies to follow the arc it makes. May we open and open more and open still to the blessed light that comes. It's so easy for us humans to forget that we are made of stars and light, that we are in fact divine, that matter is condensed energy, condensed light. So as we practice together this morning, the invitation is to remember that we are beings of light, and really focus our energies on remembering this, rather than getting totally caught up with the physical dimensions of our beings and our imperfections, our shortcomings, our flaws. We're going to start to have a bit of a stretch in a moment, and we're going to do that lying down. So if you are in a seated position, I'll invite you over the next few breaths to come down to lie on your mat. And if you've got a blanket over you, you can keep that there, but just free your arms out to the side. Going to incorporate the chant of Om in our practice this morning. So feel free to join with me in chanting or just listen. We're going to have the legs stretched out, hip distance apart, our arms down alongside us, just checking that the head, neck and spine are in a straight line. We're not leaning to one side. So in a moment, we're going to extend the arms overhead, interlock the fingers, have a bit of a stretch from side to side, and then as we lower the arms on the exhale, we'll incorporate the chant of Om. So we'll do 5 of these this morning. Let's exhale all breath. And then breathing in. So we're going to interlock the thumbs, have a bit of a wriggle and a stretch. And then when you need to, lowering the arms, chanting. Right, as you're chanting, incorporate Shambhavi Mudra, so gazing at the center of the forehead. We've got a little Poochie coming to say hello. Hello, Pooch. You want to sit down? So let's do another one. Inhaling, extending the arms overhead. Interlock your thumbs, wriggle and stretch from side to side. So 3 more of these just in your own time with your own breath. Oh. Keep going. Oh. Awesome. Sit down, sit down. Sit down. Oh. When you finish, we're going to step the feet up close to the buttocks, have the feet hip distance apart, arms out to shoulder height. Okay, we're going to be in the way there, Poochie. We'll see how we go. So we're going to work with a flowing twist, tucking the chin forward, back of the neck long, and pressing the lower back down into the floor. So we'll take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, knees are going to flow over to the right side. Head may turn to the left. So the knees are wide apart. And then we'll breathe our knees back to center, realign the spine. And knees over to the left side. Head may turn to the right. Good. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. So linking this movement with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now gently come back to center. And we're going to keep going, but this time now you have the option, if you'd like, to bringing your feet and inner knees together. So it's a little bit stronger. If you don't want to work this way, just keep the feet hip distance apart. So again, inhale, press the lower back down, tuck the chin forward. Exhale, knees to the right side. Keep that left shoulder relaxed. Head may turn to the left. Breathe yourself back to center. Knees to the left, head may turn to the right. So 2 more to each side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more to each side. And slowly come back to center. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourselves a lovely hug and a little rock from side to side. Okay, back to center. So feet are hip width again. Palms are down alongside our hips. Back of the neck long. This time as we inhale, we're going to press the soles of the feet, the palms, back of the head into the floor as we slowly peel the spine away from the floor. So lifting up into bridge. And as we exhale, we roll the spine down. Good. So breathing in, we lift. And breathing out, we lower. long, smooth inhalation and long, smooth exhalation in your own time. Again, with your own breath. Now you're welcome to continue lifting and lowering with the breath. Or the next time you lift up, you might like to hold the pose, bend your arms so your fingers are pointing up towards the sky, the palms are facing each other, and we'll hold just for a few breaths. Inner knees are squeezing in towards each other, pressing the big toe side of the foot into the mat. Forehead soft and smooth. Not staying too long. When you've had enough, lower your palms, lower your spine, and let's draw the knees in and once again give ourselves a lovely hug. Good. From here, as we inhale, let's take the legs up into the sky, arms lifting up and over the head. As we exhale, draw the knees in, option to lift your head to the knees. And then lower the head. This time when the legs go up, you might like to take the legs wide apart, flexing the feet so the heels are extending up towards the sky. And exhale, draw in. Again, option to lift the head to the knees. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. And last one. Good, lowering the head, keep the knees in, but this time we'll cross the legs at the ankles, have a hand on each knee, and making some little circles on the floor with our lower backs. Good, cross the legs the other way, let's circle in the opposite direction. And then we're going to just carefully roll over to one side and come up into a comfortable seated position. So you might be sitting up onto some support, you might be sitting cross-legged or kneeling, or perhaps even with the legs in a diamond shape. So whatever's feels comfortable, where the spine can be nice and upright. Just going to work with a little breathing meditation practice. If you like, we can bring the hands into Jhana Mudra, so index finger and thumb lightly joined, palms can be up or down, and then we're just softening the shoulders and closing the eyes or having a soft downward glance. So just taking a moment to arrive in this new position, new relationship with gravity, feeling this firm foundation we have, the base of the body, but at the same time, a sense of lightness and lift in the upper body. So the shoulders are soft, the skin of the face is soft, crown of the head lengthening up towards the heavens. So just going to sit for 2 or 3 minutes and work with a beautiful practice. It's a bit of a favorite, another favorite of mine, where we imagine that we can inhale through the crown of the head. So if you like, you can imagine there's like a stream or channel of breath, of prana, perhaps a light, a sense of energy flowing down from the sky in through the crown of your head. And then as we exhale, we beam that energy, that light, prana, life force, out through the center of the forehead. So it's as though there's a hole in the crown of the head and a hole in the center of the forehead. So let's work with this now for another couple of minutes. As we breathe in, we're drawing or imagining breath, light, a stream of energy flowing down from the sky in through the crown of the head. Little pause. And then as we exhale, we're sending that energy, that light, out through the center of the forehead, through our third eye. So breathing in through the crown top. Pausing. And then on the exhalation, we're beaming that light, that energy out through the third eye. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhaling through the crown top. Perhaps a brilliant, shining, radiant light, beam of light. And on the exhalation, sending that light, that energy, that radiance out into the world. Mind will probably try to grab your attention and pull you off track. Keep breathing in, visualizing that beam or channel of breath, energy, light flowing down from the sky in through the crown. And on the exhalation, beaming that light, life force out through your third eye. Just a few more breaths in this way. Next exhalation, release the practice, bringing the hands together at the heart space. Now with, again, Shambhavi Mudra, so gazing to the center of our forehead, let's chant 3 Oms. You can join in or just listen if you prefer. Exhaling all breath. Breathing in. to stretch forward, so legs can stay as they are, or you might change position with the legs, just gently folding forward. Now you might like to continue working with Shambhavi Mudra, so your gaze, your drishti, is to the center of the forehead. And you might like to continue hearing the chant of Om on the inside. Just softening your shoulders, relaxing the upper back, face soft. Perhaps allowing the exhalations to be a little longer than the inhalations. And then slowly come up. If your legs are crossed, we'll change the cross of the leg, or stay in a diamond shape with your legs, hands onto our knees, and we're going into wheeling the body. So some nice slow circles now with the upper body. Make sure you're not clenching the teeth. Relax the jaws, the tongue, your forehead soft and smooth. Slowly come back to center, so if the legs are crossed, again, just change the cross of the legs, and then we circle in the opposite direction. And slowly come back to center, lengthening up through the spine. Take a deep breath in, sigh it away. All right, let's change position now and come into extended child. So knees are wide, big toes touching, and our arms extending forward. Good, so keeping your ears between your arms and directing the breath now into the back of the body, the back of the lungs, and right down into the lower back. So imagine my hands are resting on your lower back, and as you breathe in, there's a sense of expansion, the upper back lifting up, creating more space down around the lower back area, the lower abdominal area, all those organs. And the limited system, the intestines get also squished and squashed. Yoga practice is one place where we can endeavor to create a bit more room in there for everything. And sometimes, take them upside down a little bit, so they're not always just sinking down with gravity. Let's, while we're here, add a lateral stretch. So just lift the head up, walk your hands over to the left side so the hands can stay shoulder width apart, or you might like to rest your right hand on the left elbow. You can have a look if you're not sure, and then you can rest your forehead on that right forearm, a little bit gentler, and breathe. Otherwise, the hands are both straight, the arms are both straight, shoulder width apart, or even a bit stronger, right palm resting on top of left. But if you're doing that, just drop that right shoulder. Try to keep the shoulders square. Breathing into the right side of the torso. Good. And then let's Come back to center, walk the hands around to the right. So you may, gentle option, rest your left hand on the right elbow and your forehead on the left forearm. Otherwise, arms are straight, perhaps the left palm on top of the right. And we're breathing into the left side of the torso. Good. And then come back to center. So we're going to work with a little flowing sequence, moving into cat and then back into child with some words this morning if you'd like to work with them. So on the next inhale, let's come up into cat. I inhale light or love or light, whatever resonates with you this morning. And then I exhale fear or illusion. Breathing in, I inhale light, a stream, a channel of light or love. I exhale fear or illusion. Find words that work for you, that are meaningful for you this morning. I inhale light. I exhale illusion. Keep going. Breathing in, face soft. Breathing out. At the top of the inhale, you might pause for a moment. And again, your drishti, your gaze is to the center of the forehead. And then exhale, just relax the eyes. So again, incorporating Shambhavi Mudra, inhale and exhale. Let's do 3 more. Just rest for a breath or two in your favorite version of child. Okay, so got a choice now of either coming up into down face dog pose, or if you'd like to work with dolphin instead. So dolphin's great if we've got issues with our wrists, but it is quite strong on the upper body and the shoulders. So please choose. If you don't want to do either of those, that's fine. You might continue working with a few rounds of cat, but otherwise, for down face dog pose, hands shoulder width apart, feet are hip distance apart, tucking the toes. For dolphin, we interlace the fingers. We're resting on our forearms, so we create like a tripod with our hands and our forearms, tucking the toes, and then we lift up. So just choosing which one of these you like to work with, and we're holding, allowing the breath to flow. Please decide how long you'd like to stay here. When you've had enough, you just gently lower the knees down and move back into your favorite version of child pose. Slowly come up. So I thought we might go through a few rounds of a kneeling salute this morning, just part of the salute, and also adding a gentle half camel variation at the beginning. So a very gentle little back bend at the beginning. So if you're not familiar with this, feel free to watch and join in when you feel ready. We can start off down here in a low kneel or be more in an upright position to start. We're going to take one hand to the lower back, and as we breathe in, we raise the other arm up, either just lengthening up tall, or if it feels okay to do so, this is where we just lean back a little bit, so a bit of a back bend. Any neck issues, you look forward, otherwise you can look up towards the sky. As we exhale, we lower that arm down and perhaps sit down. Then we swap the hands over. Inhale. And exhale. Breathing in, both arms lifting up, stretching up tall, and exhale into extended child. Inhale, cat, tuck the toes. Exhale, down face dog pose. Back into cat. And child. And from here, lifting all the way up, palms together, and exhale. So we'll do two more of these. So one hand to the lower back, breathing in. Swap the hands over. Breathing in. Breathing out. Both arms up. And into extended child. Inhale, cat, tuck your toes, down face dog. Knees. Palms together. So one last round. Inhale, a little back bend. Swap the hands over. Breathe in. Breathe. Both arms up. Cat, tuck your toes. Down face dog pose. Lowering the knees. Inhale. Palms together. And exhale. And take a breath or two here. Shoulders relaxed. Skin of the face soft. Perhaps a gentle smile on your lips. Good. All right, release the hands. So we're going to come onto all fours. Any issues with the knees, you might just put a bit of padding under the right knee, or both for this point. Going to just work with a bit of a stretch for the calves, and then those of you who'd like to will move into plank. But any shoulder, wrist issues, please don't worry about plank, but just a bit of a calf stretch. So we'll take the left leg back, tucking the left toes under, and holding this stretch. Our fingers are spread wide. Breath is flowing. Good. And then we'll bend the left leg and swap it over. Right leg back, tuck the toes and hold. And then we'll bend the right leg. So you can repeat that or work with some other variation at this point, perhaps a few more rounds of cat. Otherwise, we'll move into plank. We're just holding plank. We're just doing it once, holding it as long as you feel comfortable. So the body's in a nice straight line, shoulders over the wrists, opening the back of the knees, engaging the quadriceps, the thighs, they're engaged as we breathe. When you've had enough here, just come into, again, your favorite version of child, and we'll take a rest. Good. All right, let's extend the arms. We're going to come up into down face dog pose. And from here, we're going to walk our feet towards our hands. Lift up halfway, so hands might go onto the shins or fingertips on the floor, and then exhale, just hang in Uttanasana, so legs bent or straight. You might like to sway a little bit or just be still, and directing our gaze once again to the center of the forehead, so Shambhavi Mudra. As we breathe, might like to blow the breath out through the mouth. You might like to again lift up halfway and lower. Good. And then we'll very slowly and carefully come up to stand. When you're upright, you might like to lift your shoulders up towards your ears and just roll the shoulders down the back. Let's do that a couple more times. So forward, up, and back. And then just lift the shoulders up and just take the head from side to side. Good. And let it go. And perhaps once more. So lift the shoulders up. Take the head from side to side. Release. All right. So we're standing into our beautiful mountain pose. Find your mountain this morning. Perhaps rocking forth a few times on your feet, heel to toe. Shoulders releasing down the back, palms are soft and empty, facing forward. Chin tucked in just a little, so the back of the neck is long. Perhaps a gentle smile on your lips. Just letting go for a moment. Going to come back to our chant of Om. So let's breathe in and raise the arms up overhead, fingertips touch. Chanting down through the center. Four more. Inhale. Oh, oh. And then we're going to take our arms out to shoulder height. It's a little bit of work for our shoulders now, extending out into the fingertips, but just try to relax the shoulders. So we're going to make spirals. So we're making little circles, but each circle is a little bit bigger than the previous one. So let's see how we go with this. At any point, if it becomes really uncomfortable, just feel free to drop the arms down. You can do this quite quickly, or you can just keep it a bit slow this morning. Make sure the feet are relaxed, the toes, we're not starting to scrunch up the toes and grip onto the earth. Face relaxed. Might notice one side feels quite different to the other. So just noticing what you notice this morning without attaching a judgment. Good. And when you can't make the arms circle any larger, then we start to reverse. And now the circles are a little bit smaller each time. Mouth is relaxed. And when you need to, just release, shake it out, blow the breath out. And a little bit of a stretch for our wrists. So as we inhale, take the arms out to the side, pressing against an imaginary wall. We hold, 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 hold. And when you need to, have a rest. And again, inhale, two more. And let it go. Breathe in. And let go. Good. Let's do a little bit of hip opening work. So if you're feeling a little bit wobbly this morning, have a chair or a wall close by, one hand on the support. Otherwise, the feet are a little bit closer together, hands onto our hips, lengthening up through the crown top. And then we're going to shift the weight into the left foot as we inhale and pick up the right. As we exhale, we take that knee out to the side. Trying to keep our shoulders square to the front rather than this happening. We're sort of turning to the right. So square off the shoulders as much as we can. Inhale, we take the leg behind and exhale, lower. And then we reverse. Inhale, exhale, breathe in, breathe out. So other side, inhale. Exhale. So again, try to keep the shoulders square to the front. Inhale behind and lower. Reversing. Exhale. In. Out. So do two more to each side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Stay with your breath. This one. Finish, release the hands, coming back into mountain pose. Take a breath or two. You might like to close the eyes and just notice what you notice. Okay, let's bring the feet together this time. Little bend in the legs, hands onto our knees and making some little circles with our knees. Good, and then reversing. Release, perhaps give a bit of a shake. So a bit of squatting now. This is one of Thich Nhat Hanh's mindful movements. So we're going to bring our heels together, our toes are turned out, our hands are onto our hips, but feel free again to have some support if you feel a bit wobbly with this one. So lengthening up through the crown top, and as we inhale, we're lifting up onto the balls of the feet. As we exhale, we're lowering down, trying to keep the spine nice and straight, shoulders relaxed. Inhale up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Nice and slowly. We'll do a few more if we can. Last one. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release the heels, release the hands, and shake it out. All right, we're going to take the legs wide apart now, preparing to work with Trikonasana, our beautiful triangle. So taking the legs wide, turning the left toes around, right toes in, and again, trying to square off the shoulders as much as we can. So let's breathe in, raise the arms, turn to the left. And as we exhale, leaning over, then take the left arm down. Now this right hand can be on the top hip, if that's better for your shoulder, or we can extend the right arm up. Either looking towards our left big toe forward or up towards the right thumb, just depending on how your neck is feeling this morning. So we're holding and breathing. Those of you who want to challenge yourself a bit more, ideally these arms are in a nice straight line and we can free that left arm. So take it away from the leg and really lengthening up through that right arm. Good. And then bring the head to neutral. Inhale, come up. And release the arms. We'll turn the legs around. And again, breathing in, raise the arms, turn to the right. Leaning over as we exhale. So right arm down, left hand onto your hip or extending the arm up. Be careful of your neck. Breathe. Perhaps a gentle smile on your lips. And bring the head to neutral. Inhale, come up. Exhale. And release. Give the legs a bit of a shake. Come to the backs of your mat. So this is our last standing pose, which is flowing warrior one. So we're going to step the right leg forward. Our hips are square. We're pushing back into the outer edge of that left foot and then just releasing our arms down by our sides. So exhale all breath. And then as we breathe in, we're going to bend the right leg, raise the arms up. And as we exhale, arms come to shoulder height. Inhale, turn the palms up, bring them in alongside the chest, and exhale, hands into prayer. Breathing in, raise the arms above the head, and breathing out, let it all go. So 2 more. So inhale, arms up, right leg bent. Exhale, arms in front. Turn the palms up. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. And last one. Step the leg back. Take a breath or 2. And then we'll do the same to the other side. So left leg forward. Pushing back into the outer edge of the right foot. The hips are square. The shoulders are relaxed. Exhale all breath. And then we're bending the left leg as we inhale the arms up. And exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Two more. Stay with your breath. Step the leg back, shake it out. So we're going to come to sit down now. If you would like to, you can grab some support to sit on, stretching the legs out in front. The legs a little bit of a shake. You might like to give them a little bit of a rub. And we're going to work with one more pose before we sit again for a few minutes and work with our breathing practice that we did at the beginning, and then we'll go into our relaxation. So Paschimottanasana, forward bend, feet are hip width apart, legs can bend if you like with this one as you come forward, and hands are going to be alongside our hips. We're going to come back to our chant of Om. And as we exhale into the pose, we'll chant, and we'll do this 3 times before we actually hold the pose. So working dynamically to begin. A nice straight spine, shoulders relaxed, chin tucked in a little. Exhale all breath. And then breathing in, raising the arms up. Inhale, raise the arms up. Oh. This one. Stand here for a few breaths. Perhaps again incorporating Shambhavi Mudra, so your gaze is to the center of the forehead. Perhaps continuing to hear the chant of Om on the inside. And then in, slowly bring the palms together and exhale. Release the hands. And let's set ourselves up to sit for another few minutes to work with our breathing meditation practice. So find a comfortable seat. Make sure that you are warm. Again, if you'd like to incorporate a mudra of your choice. Eyes closed or with a soft downward glance. Perhaps turning the sides of the mouth up slightly. So just take a moment to let everything settle. Not rushing this stage of preparing our seat to sit. And again, I invite you to imagine or visualize a channel or stream of energy, breath, prana, light, dazzling light, flowing down from the sky, in through the crown of your head. Little pause. And then on the exhalation, you're beaming that light, that energy out through a hole in the center of your forehead. Sending it out into the world. Breathing in through the crown of the head. And breathing out through your third eye. So sit for a few minutes in silence now, continuing to work with this practice. own time without rushing. Come to lie down for Shavasana. Make sure that you are warm, comfortable. Listen to yourself once again a few times. I recognize the need for silence and stillness in my life. I recognize the need for silence and stillness in my life. I invite you now to let an image of yourself rise in your mind's eye. And then I invite you to imagine that a being has just walked up behind you and is standing there looking at you. You feel their gaze, and you're so aware of their presence that the entire vibration of your feeling nature is beginning to change. Imagine now that this presence is invisible, a being of light, the most magnificent divine being you have ever been aware of. And that this presence is now slowly moving into you, penetrating your body, your mind, your emotional nature, and your entire consciousness. Feel the surge of power as this being of light and love moves in to occupy the same space that you do. Sense the intense knowingness of its mind as it thinks within your consciousness. See and feel the radiant, brilliant light saturating your entire being. And when it happens that your small self would like to show you your flaws, show you your failures and shortcomings, and it will, guide yourself back from that place, just for now, to only contemplate your light, your innate goodness, your divinely radiant perfection. We can teach ourselves to see, to feel, to experience our own light in the same way we can teach ourselves a yoga pose with focus and practice. What we think about ourselves, we become. Going forward, you might like to make a commitment with yourself to practice holding a vision of light and love. So now, very gently, it is time to release from this practice, to become aware once more of all of the sounds around you, sounds both near and far away. Tuning back into the outside world, becoming aware once more of the room you are in, your physical body, deepening your breath, wriggling your fingers and toes, perhaps having a bit of a stretch. And then in your own time, without hurry, slowly come over to one side and make your way up into a seated position. We'll close our practice together this morning with one Om. If you'd like to bring your hands together at the heart space. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Love to you all. Keep in touch or keep in touch. And yes, keep in touch. You please stay well through the cooler months. And as I wrote in the email yesterday, feel free to check in with me anytime. I really do love hearing from you, what you're up to, how you are. Yeah, love you very much. And thank you for joining. Okay.